guys, welcome to 23 Foils. Today we're going to be going through 53 blisters of Into the Inklands. Finished taking all 53 of these blister packs out of cardboard sleeves so we can get to ripping. Most of these were bought at Target and Barnes & Noble. There's probably 4 different batches worth, so maybe that means there's as many as 4 enchantments. But realistically, we're probably hoping for 1. And about 10 legendaries is our goal. If we get any less than that, then this is kind of a bust. I think the next batch of these I start filming. Oh, there we go. First legendary. Ursula's Return should either be dropping or be about to be dropped. Please tell me what you guys think you're most excited for, what you're predicting the biggest hype's going to be. My hype is centered around all the Mulan cards. I'm really hoping there's a secret enchanted Mushu coming. That would be my jam. I would definitely try to get a playset of that as an enchanted. The rest of the set looks really good, a lot of good, interesting mechanics. It looks like they are continuing on with the locations. The Great Wall looks like an absolutely stellar new card for locations. All right, oh, another legendary. So far, not bad. Put our 2 legendaries over here. So my hype is building for the Atlanta tournament. That's not bad. Keep that up here. Really excited. I've been able to climb from 1100 ranking on, or 1100 I guess ELO on the hardcore ranked ladder on Pixelborn all the way to about 1430 using my current Ruby Amethyst list. It has 67 cards and pretty good amount of uninkables. I think I'm at 16 or 18. And it runs 12 1-drops. I really want to be able to race Amethyst players. They're going to spend all that time ramping. I'm going to spend all that time making sure I get lore. Missing a 1-drop is pretty critical. Otherwise, I think some of the only other things that sets my list apart is I'm running 2 Scars and 3 B-Preps. I feel like there's a lot of times where, oh, Perdita, another legendary, perfect. A lot of times where you want that board clear, but you don't really want to sacrifice your board state. And that is the perfect card to be able to run around, cause a big ruckus, maybe even swing 6 into a manor or a castle. Oops, to end your attack and then mop it up with a little 1-drop. I think Scar was incredibly underrated, and he's finally getting the attention he deserves. everyone thought he was pretty inferior to Maui. And in some capacities he is, but when he pops off, dear God. I think the list I'm most scared to play against is maybe Purple Steel, because I have the least amount of experience playing against it. It has a really good amount of removal, and it still has that full bounce package. So it's still got the odds and ends of the mirror, but with added difficulties of not being able to really play my Minnie Mouse Surfer for a good board game, because I have to fear the Zeus or the Tinkerbell and the Grab Your Swords. Very strong in that. There's a lot of play lines to make it happen. And the only other one I'm kind of scared of right now is Mufasa Roulette, the Ruby Amber list, where it plays tons of evasives. It quests hard. It always puts a threat out. And all right, another legendary. We're at 4. And so it's just a mixed bag of tricks. No matter how much I try to play around with Mufasa when he might do, I always seem to have worse luck. One time I had a rabbit on the field and a crab in hand, and I played a Medusa to kill the Mufasa. Well, no, that's what it was. I did not play to kill it. I suicided something. I suicided in like a fox, for example. So I had fox and rabbit on board. Fox goes into Mufasa, manages to spawn a Tremaine. I was planning on dropping my crab after the fact to make my rabbit be able to clear whatever it drops. And so it went from me having a pretty dominating presence on the board to nothing on the board and not being able to clear the Tremaine. That's just some of the really deadly power spikes you can get with Mufasa. Makes it really, really hard to play around, especially when people started dropping the 2-drop Queen Rush, because that was pretty much one of the only cards where Mufasa would kind of whiff if you played. Everything else is pretty scary and pretty consistent. I don't have super high aspirations for that tournament. I believe I'm a pretty middle of the road, slightly less mediocre player. I did win a couple stitches, but oh wow, legendary cold foil. It's perfect. That is also based off the lists that came up at those events and the players that actually showed up, versus an event like this is gonna have a lot of super skilled people showing up. Let's get this Tim Hawkins properly sleeved and top loaded before we keep going. Like I said, I take really good care of my legendary cold foils, so I kind of plan on holding on to them because they hold value really well. And they are very hard to come by. Awesome. So my goal is to hopefully make top quarter and be able to reach that next level of pricing. They've also recently announced that if you sign in early the day before, that will give you an additional promo card, which I'm super excited for. I don't know if it's going to be a special one-off promo card or if they're going to give you an extra Dragonfire, because they went from having to print 512 Dragonfires like 6 times to printing 2,000 of them 6 times. So they might just be blowing up the printers with those. and just might be planning to give them away like hotcakes. Either way, I'm super excited, even if it is just another Dragonfire. Leave some comments below if you guys are planning on making it, or which ones you plan on making it to. I also tried to go to the Seattle one and the Las Vegas one. All right, got a legendary. We're doing really well with legendaries. We've essentially opened a little under a box at this point. We're almost to the point of a box. We've already pulled more legendaries than even come in a single box. So that is stellar. I'm really hoping for an enchant Ursula. It's one I'm really missing, or Morph. Also, for one of their other announcements they made, they kind of said that enchantments wouldn't necessarily be limited to cards released in that set. I would hope that they would make Winnie the Pooh, the Honey Sorcerer, or Honey Mage, or however the card is phrased, one of the next enchanteds, because I'll be damned if that is not one of the best artworks in this entire game. Please leave a comment on what card you would love to see get the enchanted treatment across any of the sets. But I honestly believe that's one of the best looking cards. Oh, not a bad hit. Queen's Castle, we'll set that down there. Last Ditch Effort, a card I think is very strongly underrated. I think sometimes Pinocchio is very situational, and Last Ditch Effort kind of fills that need better, but with all the aggro decks and being able to bounce Pinocchio, I ultimately decided to cut Last Ditch Effort and put Pinocchio back in. But nevertheless, I still feel like it's a very strong card. Also, one I've only talked about once before, I really want it to kind of be my personal mission to make sure we get out there as a community and are very kind, inviting, willing to teach, and help people learn to play. That should be all of our most selfish desire too, because the more people that play this game, the more people that buy this product, the more valuable your cards are going to be, the more people you can play against and be able to crush and, you know, feel like you're super good. All right, along came Zeus, it's not bad. Man, look at the glare, I'm so sorry. Should have that resolved soon. Stitch, little bucket. I really think we should do everything we can to help foster this community. I see some posts on Facebook and everything where people have a question because they're just learning the game and don't even know where to find it in the resources yet. And people just bite their heads off. And I'm like, this is someone that's trying to learn to play the same thing you love, is going to increase the amount of it that gets purchased, which increases the value of all of it. And you're gonna tear them down. I almost feel like you should look at playing this game as a publicly owned company. The more people that own it, the more valuable the stocks are. If you start scaring off all the other investors and making them sell out, it's not going to do great for your return in the long run, if that's what you're hoping to do. Or maybe you just like playing a new card game every couple years when one dies off. But I do not. I would like to just keep playing this one. Morph, just not the enchanted we're hoping for yet. We got just under a box left. And the world's most difficult pack now. We're doing really good on legendaries still. Still no signs of any crimps or otherwise beneficially damaged cards from factory. No sign of discards. It's really unfortunate. I'd love to pull a discard. I get to find one, and the first one I saw in real life was at a local game store, and someone was actually using it as a placeholder on their mat for cards they discard. I thought that was hysterical. All right, another legendary Medal of Thatch. Great pool. We're at 7 legendaries for just barely over a box and like a quarter. Ooh, another legendary. Moana. I love the artwork on so many of the Moana cards. Actually, the title character Moana, not like Hey Hey or Maui or any of them, but the Moana cards for her are gorgeous. It's just a shame none of them have really been playable. I got excited on that one. Also, I need to be a little bit slower. I was going back through cards, one of my last videos, and I totally skipped the legendary Tala. It was on the video for the Trolls. So there's actually, I think, a grand total of 2 legendaries in those. Still not stellar, but a whole lot better than what it was. Alright, this is the 13th and last pack. And last stack of 12 after this. Big old nothing in that one. Oh, I cheated. There's no enchanted in this one. Sometimes you just need a little sneak peek. Go ahead and please leave a like, a comment, a subscribe, and if you would like, could you please comment what other sort of content you guys would like to see? I'd be very interested in trying to accommodate. I've thought about trying to maybe do my climb on the Pixelborn ladder, or even paper matches from my weekly league. I don't think there's too many people showing just kind of casual league play. Oh, that's a pretty cool foil. Chernobog. You know, because some people still don't have it down. Like some people have only played on Pixelborn, and so kind of table etiquette with your ink or shuffling or how to shuffle well. I feel like there are a lot of basics that some people are like, I don't really know how to do this. All right, Perdita. One more legendary. Oh, I'll fix that in just a second here. This is getting way too wild. Honorable mention, Medusa, just hanging out. Alright. Alright guys, I'm really feeling the legendary coming up here. Want that Ursula. Two-drop Ursula, not quite what I was hoping for. Oh, a video I was thinking about filming is actually when I go to these stores and work out these massive trade-ins for enchantments. I feel like that'd be a pretty cool video to show you guys, show you the process, show you how many cards can be traded to equate different enchantments, how I kind of double check the enchantments before I buy them. I look for tall tale signs of fakes, I look for damage, I look for anything that would qualify as a lightly played qualifier on them. Make sure I don't get overcharged. And then I also haggle with the solar sometimes, you know. If a card is worth over $1, I try to haggle for 80% value. At worst, 70%. If they don't want to give me 70%, then I go somewhere else. All right, another Jim Hawkins. But I'm very polite about it, because a lot of times I'm asking them to trade something that could very likely leave the store for cash in exchange for cards that they typically make 20 to 10% more on than that enchanted, because I'm buying it at full retail and they're giving me 80% retail on mine, so they have a lot of wood room. But the amount of time it would take them to liquidate this versus liquidate that one card kind of puts them in a bind. So I always try to be pretty respectful of that and know that really they're doing me a favor by trading. Alright, we're down to the last pack magic. We do have that legendary cold foil, and now we are at 9 legendaries, which we're at 2 boxes and trying to get a change. So we're technically over on enchanted by legendaries by 2 or 3. So we're doing pretty good. Nope, no enchanted disco. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.